Alex Ila Qatar Open run begins with Teresa Valentova showdown. She walked gracefully into the court. No hurried looks, no fidgeting, just a performer prepared to take center stage. For Alex Ila, this was more than just another contest. It served as a standard, a turning point molded by steady ambition and calm perseverance. It was more than simply a talent test to face the lively Teresa Valentova. It was a mirror. Ila had been brushed aside the last time they met. The stakes feel very different today, even if the scoreboard still starts at love all. Experience shifts in tempo. Momentum changes with maturity. Ila's performance has significantly improved in the last few weeks. She has been honing her skills, refining her court tactics, and gaining confidence from Auckland to Abu Dhabi. Her victories have been the result of strategic rallies and timing rather than sheer strength. I silently observed her ability to reset after unforced errors while watching her play against Sasnovich. No outbursts, no signs of annoyance. Simply exhale slowly, reset, and return to the baseline. That level of poise is very uncommon, especially for someone her age. Although her current ranking puts her in the WTA top 40, rankings by themselves don't tell the whole story. She has defended herself against seeded opponents during the last 3 months. The fact that she is slogging through draws rather than breezing through them tells us more about her ceiling than any statistic could possibly hope to. Ila has become much more difficult to predict by adding more variation to her shots, particularly with her drop shot and cross-court forehand play. She is dictating patterns rather than merely following them. It is especially symbolic to face Valentova in Qatar. It is like to rewriting a chapter. Ila is no longer the cautious counterpart of Valentova, who is still an enthusiastic ball striker. She can now read pace more quickly, change her feet more easily, and, most importantly, trust her time. For bestsellers. She has discovered a rhythm through calculated pacing that preserves energy without ever reducing aggression. Particularly over consecutive tournament weeks, this approach has shown itself to be very effective. Her serve placement in Abu Dhabi enabled her to save important break chances, particularly against Freck in the second set. That's preparation for the practice meeting, not luck. Naturally, there has been a lot of talk about her draw in Doha. She will probably play French Open finalist Karolina Muchova if she advances past the first round. Ila isn't looking too far ahead, though. The discipline of the immediacy is something she has perfected. Every point has a unique backstory. A fresh opportunity to recalibrate with every round. Although there was never any assurance that her move from junior to professional would be easy, she has handled it with a healthy dose of hope and realism. Her staff, which is composed of both family members and Rafa Nadal Academy alumni, recognizes the importance of long-term relationships over short-term satisfaction. She has participated in tournaments on 3 continents since the start of this season, yet her energy levels have remained remarkably stable. That points to meticulous planning and a body that is remarkably resilient to the pressures of touring. She stated in an interview that she has been concentrating more on recuperation and diet during the Australian swing. Both psychologically and physically, that dedication appears to be paying off. Her post-match interviews are now especially eloquent, frequently reflective, and never scripted. She has been providing informal guidance to young Filipino players off the court, even sharing practice courts with them. Her character is demonstrated by her charity. Not all emerging stars glance back as they ascend. She has learned to strike a balance between precision and ferocity through regular court time. She no longer plays to establish her status. She knows she does, so she plays. She will receive almost $26,000 and 65 crucial ranking points if she defeats Valentova. The true victory, however, is psychological. It validates trajectory and signifies redemption. Confidence in tennis is not inherited. Point by point, it is constructed. It's possible that Alex Ila is the only 20-year-old on tour whose strategy relies heavily on patience. Surprisingly, that may be her most dangerous weapon. 39 DAF isn't just drawing, she's redefining what streaming feels like. In the crowded universe of online streaming, where volume often replaces substance and algorithms quietly reward whoever shouts the loudest, 39 DAF feels like a contradiction that somehow works. She isn't just drawing on stream. She isn't just talking to chat. She isn't just another personality filling time on Twitch or YouTube. What she's doing is subtler, stranger, and far more influential. She's reshaping what it feels like to exist inside a live stream. To watch 39daf is not to be entertained in the traditional sense. It's to be invited. Invited into a half-formed thought. Invited into an unfinished sketch. Invited into the awkward silence between jokes, the deadpan humor that arrives 2 seconds late, the candid honesty that doesn't announce itself as vulnerability but lands as it anyway. Her streams don't perform creativity, they inhabit it. The art is the starting point, not the point. At face value, 39daf is a digital artist. She draws characters, sometimes cute, sometimes grotesque, often hovering in that uncomfortable, fascinating space between. Her lines are confident but loose, playful but intentional. Anyone looking only at the final product could stop there and say, "Ah, talented artist." But that misses the core of what she's doing. The drawing is not the destination, it's the excuse. The real art happens in the in-between moments. The commentary that drifts from technique to existential jokes, the offhand self-criticism that's immediately undercut by humor, the way she treats mistakes not as failures but as part of the texture of the process. Watching her draw feels less like observing a polished professional and more like sitting next to someone who's letting you peek inside their creative brain, unfiltered, unsanitized, and refreshingly unconcerned with appearing impressive. In an internet culture obsessed with optimization and growth hacks, that lack of performative polish becomes radical. A voice that refuses to beg for attention. Most streamers learn early that attention is currency. They amplify reactions, sharpen punchlines, repeat catchphrases until they harden into brands. 39daf does something riskier. She trusts the audience to lean in. Her humor is dry, often absurd, sometimes intentionally anticlimactic. She'll set up a thought, abandon it halfway, then circle back 10 minutes later as if nothing happened. Silence is allowed. Awkwardness is allowed. Even boredom, in small doses, is allowed. And paradoxically, that's what makes the experience so absorbing. It feels human. There's no constant pressure to react, no forced hype cycle. Instead, her stream rhythm mirrors real life. Moments of focus, moments of distraction, moments where nothing much happens but you're oddly glad you're there anyway. In doing so, she challenges the unspoken rule that content must always be loud to be valuable. Community without performance. One of the quietest revolutions in 39daf's streaming is the relationship she builds with her audience. It's not parasocial in the exaggerated, emotionally exploitative way that has become common. She doesn't manufacture.